When I heard that Justin Fields was traded to Pittsburgh for 3 Slim Jims and a handshake, I thought, well, we got to talk to Mike Berman, NBC 5. Great seeing you in studio on Friday, and thanks for being a pro, because not everybody was. It's a little inside, but that's what the giggle's about. Anyway, all right, listen, you live with this Bears story all year long, and you're living with it again. Am I crazy, or did they flat blow this?
Who? The Bears? Did they not get enough in the trade, you mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
You wanted a sack of Permanti brothers in return as well?
Well, yeah. Has Bradshaw got any eligibility left? I don't know if he can move laterally well. I just think a 6-rounder for this. Look, here's what I would have done. And, why they didn't call me is really a mystery. But you have the first-round pick. That's worth a lot. You keep Fields. You make a deal for Russell Wilson before the Steelers do it because you're only paying him $1 million. You got a veteran backup. You start Fields next year, and Wilson comes in.
Wait a second. Are you being serious?
Yeah, listen to me before you mimic me. And you bring in or mimic me, mock me. You bring in Wilson. So you got the 2 for no money. You keep them, and you trade that first pick for 3 picks because you got about 40 needs on the team. Why is that crazy?
Because in that scenario, you wanted Russell Wilson to be the Bears quarterback, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's not very good. He once was, but he's not very good anymore.
Well, we don't know that. He had moments, and the coach was up his butt. Well, the coach was up his behind.
No, what the Bears need is the next great quarterback, and they've got a chance to take him in Caleb Williams.
But you got to start over now. You got to start over, and the head coach is not even remotely proven. So how's he not going to screw the kid up?
Well, that's why you hope that that's why you went out and hired a new offensive coordinator, and that's why, as you interviewed these OC candidates, you had in mind what your plan was. The Bears were never actually considering making Justin Fields their starter next season. They knew they were moving on. So that was part of their calculus as they fired Luke Getsy, as they went out and interviewed candidates for the OC job and ultimately chose Shane Waldron. I just there was no logic in keeping Justin Fields because of a laundry list of reasons. Number one, he's been, and you start here, he's been wildly inconsistent over his 3 years as a starter. There is absolutely no guarantee he's going to figure it out. Number two, Ryan Poles isn't the guy who fell in love with him and traded up for him and drafted him. Number three, you reset the salary scale at the position, which is huge. Fields is a guy who you're going to have to pay in short order, whereas Caleb Williams is not only a better quarterback prospect, has the higher ceiling, but is going to be making for 4 years, a rookie scale contract. That allows you to spend money elsewhere to make everyone around him better and give your team a chance to be better as a whole for the next 4 seasons. I don't think there was any controversy here at all, and I know that Bears fans would have liked to get more in return. I get that, but I think a couple things are at play. Number one, you saw the reporting from Ian Rappaport of NFL Network yesterday that essentially the Bears did Fields a solid, sending him to Pittsburgh. That was a place that he and his representatives, his team, if you will, thought would be a viable place for him. Maybe they could have gotten a little more in another location, but this was doing right by Fields. And Ryan Poles had been adamant all offseason he wanted to do right by Fields, and I think that's a very stand-up thing to do. It's really cool because obviously it's a cutthroat business. He doesn't, quote unquote, owe Justin Fields anything, but he was doing what the quarterback, the person, his team thought was best for him. And number two, this is probably the biggest reason. The NFL doesn't view Justin Fields as a guy worthy of a pick much higher because they don't view him as a shoo-in starter, or at least they view him as a guy who, has flashed, but has also been wildly inconsistent and who's, coming up on the end of his contract soon. So it's a combination of all those things. And by the way, should be noted that it's a 6th round pick that's conditional. Mm-hmm. So it could turn into a 4th round pick if Fields takes more than 50% of the Steelers snaps.
Listen,
which
if I
could
could
happen
just,
because
if I could just speak on behalf,
Russell may not play.
If I could speak on behalf of Bears fans, we're just so freaking tired of starting over.
Let me just say this: I feel like there is
you'd rather roll with the guy who's he might be okay versus the guy who everyone thinks is far and away a better quarterback prospect and has a better opportunity to be a franchise quarterback than Justin Fields. Talking about Caleb Williams.
Because we need 3 other guys.
Hold on.
We actually need 40 other guys, but we'd start with 3.
Yes.
Jane.
Okay. So let me just say this. We need other people. Don't you think the planning went like this? You've got DJ Moore. They just got Keenan Allen from the Chargers. Now you've got this duo of wide receivers for this insanely great rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams. So they're planning this ahead of time, and you've got these 2 guys right there for him.
Absolutely. The Keenan Allen addition is humongous. I mean, this is a 6-time Pro Bowler, 6 times over 1,000 yards in a season. Bona fide star receiver. He and Moore together, that is a seriously scary duo for defenses in the NFL. Add on top of that, they bring in DeAndre Swift, who's a dynamic, versatile back. Just signed him in free agency. Cole Kmet they had locked up last year. He has really taken his game to another level. This is not the typical situation where a top quarterback prospect is being taken first overall and walking into a dreadful situation. This Bears team, Steve, you need to understand. You need to get it through your thick skull.
You can say that again.
Bears team.
Yes. Yes.
This Bears team is actually. Man, I don't want to go that far.
Wait, no.
Don't say it.
No, thick head wants to hear what you're going to say.
Yeah. I was about to say they're actually pretty good, but they are ascending. It is absolutely realistic to say this is an ascending team, that the defense was tremendous in the last month and a half of the season. It has gotten better offensively in the offseason. And you're going to add a guy in Caleb Williams who's joining a team that isn't terrible. Like Bryce Young last year, the top pick in the draft, joined a terrible situation in Carolina, and it was a disaster for him. Caleb Williams is joining a much better situation, and I think it gives him a much better chance to flourish as a rookie.
All right, so 2-on-1 bet here.
Did you get that through your thick skull, Mr.
2-on-1 bet here. This is for lunch at Gibson's. 2-on-1 bet here. If Russell Wilson or Justin Fields have statistically better numbers than Caleb Wilson, you're buying lunch.
Caleb Williams, but yeah.
No, I'm talking about Caleb Wilson, his cousin. Caleb Williams.
It's not going to happen. Okay. It won't happen.
I can't make that bet. I don't know anything about Caleb Wilson.
No. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. You've already made the bet. I wasn't giving you an option. You already made the bet.
Mike, it's you and me. It's you and me against Steve, and we believe that this is the right move.
And my thick skull.
Yeah, and your thick skull.
Listen, he's not wrong. It is thick.
It is thick, and your thick skull could be a second you, so it's fine.
Well, that's unnecessary. All right. Well, I'm glad you're excited, and I defer to your knowledge and your head of hair. I'm glad you're excited. I certainly hope you're right. I want to be wrong, but I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm excited,
and I get that. Look, there is no guarantee. It's one of the hardest things to nail in all of sports is getting it right. Drafting a quarterback, because there's a lot of variables that go into ultimately whether they're successful or not. But I think that this is absolutely the right move for the Bears, and I think it's exciting to think of the possibilities with a guy like Caleb Williams joining an ascending team that, and I'm just telling you right now, will be mentioned preseason as a legitimate playoff contender.
Did you say offending team or ascending team?
Ascending.
Oh, okay.
On the way up. I hope they don't undercoach him, though. That would be bad.
Yeah. Okay. All right, buddy. I love you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, guys. Looking forward to my Gibsons. See ya.
Okay. See you later.